What say you? What say you?
There's so many things I can say.
Yeah, that's why.
I had a high amount of respect for Judge Stevens, and I've lost probably 2/3 to 3/4 of it today.
Oh, that's a big chunk, Dan.
I can tell on his face. Yeah,
because
that's a big chunk.
I have more to say on how this kid probably became this kid, but to start with what happened in court, Stevens was real clear in how he was talking that there was going to be justice done here. And just, you know how I feel about young people throwing away their lives. And if I'm going to give anybody a second chance, it's going to be a young person and all that. But there's some things that I don't think can be rehabbed. This is one of them. I think you've got to pay the price for what you've done.
Yeah.
And he looked like he was going down that road. And then all of a sudden, he twisted himself and tried to pretzel into this position of okay, I'm going to acquiesce and this isn't that big of a deal. And what really frustrates me is this is the last judge of all of them that we monitor that I would have thought this would have happened with.
Right.
But the truth of it is this happens more than it doesn't. Mm-hmm. We see this all the time. And how many times have you seen me throw my pen against the wall like I did again today? Thank heavens I never hit the camera. Or, you know, we get frustrated because we see these cases go down and it's a slap on the wrist. And then it's followed by some guy getting a 10-year probation for what was it? Like fleeing and looting or something?
Yeah.
I mean, what is it with this crime that so many judges don't want to do their job when it comes to it? Seriously, what is it?
And it's a great question because I mean, we watched Judge Elmore have a similar case in Michigan, and you know, he really tried to walk it back as to he tried to give this long justification as to why he's not giving quite the lengthy prison sentence that, you know, he's like, everybody thinks that this person should get this kind of prison sentence and blah. And, you know, when he was doing all the disclaimer that he wasn't going to give a huge sentence, it was, you know, going to be like 120 months, 10 years. But it turned out, you know, that he's really only doing like 2 or something like that. But at least even there, at least there's some time being done. And yeah, I agree with Dan. Like, I hate seeing kids throw away their lives. And if it were any other crime, like virtually any other crime, right? Like if this guy was driving recklessly and hit somebody and did serious bodily injury, if he committed burglary or something, I mean, there's a lot of things that can be rehabilitated. A lot of them, even murder, I think, can be rehabilitated.
Yeah.
This is just the one thing that, just statistically speaking, it's psychological. You can look in any medical journal, any psychological journal. You can read all the data you want in this. Anywhere you go, almost invariably, they all say these people cannot be rehabilitated. It is something, it's beyond just a mere mental illness. This is like something that's just, it's pervasive. It's more than just an addiction. Again, addiction, I talked about this in the chat on the live show. Addiction is one thing, man. This is beyond addiction. This is like it's just a wiring in somebody's brain. And again, you know, I'm not an expert, you know, I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, but just everything I've read, and every time we see these cases, what's the repeat offender rate on these cases? It's through the roof. And, you know, I'm not talking about the guy who's 18 and sleeps with a 17-year-old and gets charged as a registered offender, right? I'm not talking about that, because who cares about that, right? I mean, we're talking about this kind of case, right? So this is the kind that you cannot rehabilitate. And I just did, you know, when that verdict, I went like this, I just took my headphones off. slammed him down. I got up. I went to get a drink. I said, I got to take just a 2-minute recess. And that's,
Yeah.
I did. And I don't do that usually. I don't have that, but this was like the worst. And I agree with Dan. I lost so much respect for Judge Stevens because normally I've been building up a lot lately because he's been like extra compassionate for, you know, the kind of grumpy guy that he is sometimes. He was, you know, he's like, you know, we can fix this. He always say that, you know, this is something that can be fixed. And, you know, we're here to try and work with this. But this is not one that can be fixed. Stop it.
No,
So
it's not.
yeah,
These people, they just reoffend and they reoffend. You catch them, they get out, and they're right back to it. So more often than not. Now we're talking in a lot of absolutes, and yeah, there is going to be the occasional person that does fix their ways.
sure.
And they fight the demon and they do it successfully. But those are very much the needle in the haystack examples when it comes to this crime.
Right.
And
right.
somebody as experienced as Stevens to not get that. And the biggest thing that got me beyond all of this is that guy's got access to his brother now.
Right. I really didn't like that. No.
I think that was really the part that got me too, was not only is it suspended, but he's right back in the lion's den. I mean,
right.
What is going on?
He should not have any access to that kid. In the same household. Sorry.
The Judge Mogan case. The Judge Mogan case earlier this week with the guy that he had been driving recklessly. I think he was drunk.
Killed his fiance. And he had done it 4 months earlier and almost killed him and her. And then he second time's a charm, and he did it. But at least justice was kind of served there. Sort of. What did he get? 10 and 10?
10 and 10. Or 7 and 10, I think, or something like that.
Yeah. He's going to do prison time and then be on probation for forever.
And that's
correct.
Something. And again, I think someone that does something like that guy clearly has remorse, clearly is feeling it for the rest of his life. He killed somebody, he did time. But it's an addiction, and I think that can be rehabilitated. This cannot. And this is something where if people didn't view these images, well, they wouldn't ever be there. There wouldn't be a market for them. So every time you do it, Judge Stevens was so right. But then it's like you do everything.
And turning to the defendant,
he shit the bed.
demeanor.
Let's just call it like it is.
He did.
Sorry, Ash, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. No, his demeanor though, like he showed no, he didn't show anything. Like he was stone cold, and I feel like no, he doesn't understand how wrong this is, and doesn't. It's just everything is wrong with this. He doesn't
stood there stone-faced.
Stone-faced. It's not like he acknowledged that he did anything wrong. He didn't even say like, "Oh, I messed up." He didn't say anything like that.
Yeah, Judge Stevens.
It's not a big deal.